State University, PDC Pro Fall 2024. This is call number 10, and the next and final lesson is lesson 10, Concept Plan and Local Network Survey, due next Monday, March 10th at 9 a.m. Pacific. So I do apologize. I had to cancel our office hour very last minute this afternoon, due to kind of a situation that came up that I just could not work around. So I'm going to record a tutorial for you, like I try and usually go through during the office hour. Okay, so we're going to check in on the template for lesson 10. The grades are distributed across the local network survey, which is going to be 4 points, and the concept plan, which is 18 points for a total of 22 points. So this is one of the largest points-wise assignments in the course, and it's arguably the largest assignment in the course. So you've gotten a bit of a taste of that with, especially with lesson 9. And it is your final lesson. So after this, you're done. If you have submitted every assignment and gotten, I believe their cutoff is more than 75%, then you will be getting your certificate. Now, all of you in this cohort, you're gonna know if you've submitted all of your assignments. If you're getting like 3 or 5 points on assignments, those aren't going to be considered completed. But if you're missing a few marks here and there, you're fine. If you're not sure, feel free to reach out. But I think everyone that I can think of in this cohort is very clearly either submitting all of their lessons or not, which is fine either way. If you want to just audit the course, of course, you're always welcome to have done that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and then jump into it. Not jump into my screen, get into the template and show you around here. Okay, so what to do. So our first assignment 20 is a local network survey. It's pretty straightforward. Just fill in the template. It's only 2 slides, so it's going to be the network survey and then your SWOT analysis. Remember to use clear graphics and images. Be sure to cite sources if that's relevant, especially if you're citing someone's work. A lot of students in rural areas may really struggle to find good options to include. So go out as far as you need to. Don't just say, oh, there's no one like within a local radius. Just go, I mean, even within like several hundred miles, if you have to, which doesn't usually seem to be the case. Because that's important information too. So then, possibly you could roll it into like a longer trip down the road if you were wanting to meet up with those people in real life. So there's a few different sections here. You can split this across two slides, or 3, I guess, if you really wanted to. Designers and farms. So we've got here amazing farm, amazing designer, designers and illustrators, another, just fill, you can fill in the information there for who you can find. And then any other category. So if you're really looking to be raising livestock, there might be some farms that are particularly inspiring there. If you're looking to do more of like a flower farm or a nursery, so on, you get the idea. And then any other instructors or education companies. So that could be a local like university extension. It could be another permaculture or regenerative ag training. Some of you have a Grange nearby. Anything like that is going to be fine. Okay. So that's pretty straightforward, I think. And then the concept plan is where the rubber really hits the road. I noticed I didn't edit the title on my agenda. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I don't think you do. Anyway, this is where it all comes together across the course. The first slide, this one right here, is worth 1 point. It's simply going to be your existing base map. So you've done that, just drop it in there. If you want to make any changes or improvements, this is a great time to do that. Now, the concept plan is something that you could actually take to a client. So if you want to improve your base map, given what you've learned throughout the course, you're welcome to do that here. Now, that might mean like cropping out extra text that you've been kind of including all along just because you didn't want to, or you didn't know how to crop it out. That's fine. That might be just cleaning up some of your lines. Maybe you've learned how to like connect polygons together, something, anything like that. Feel free to work that out here. So include like your best version of your existing conditions-based map. Okay, and then so for your concept plan, you're going to basically expand out your design from the Zone 1 design that you completed in Lesson 9 to the entire site. So similar idea. Note that all of the map information parts are still very important, so that you've got an accurate scale bar, map information. They are graded, they count for actual points, so don't skip over them. If you're copying them from a previous slide, make sure you haven't overlooked anything, for example, like area, dimensions, coordinates, units, your compass rose, anything like that. Okay, so here you're going to be inserting your base map and then basically outlining what design elements are going to be going in for your final concept design. Over top of your existing base map in grayscale, so that your gray is behind, and then you can highlight what you're going to be adding as a result of this design process or process, depending where you're at. Okay, so your first slide within this, or I guess technically your third slide within this assignment, but what I consider your first slide is like the real details, the nitty-gritty of the concept plan. Kind of covers two aspects. One is your main goal, and then your sub goals within that. And so you just get specific about what your goals are going to be for the site, for the entire concept plan. And then your map here is going to focus on your proposed zones. So this is where you're moving from what your existing zones were into what you're proposing. And then any pathways, fences, and gates. Again, this is going to be over top of your grayscale base map. Get your legend nice and clear in there. Use up all of your space. Make sure that all of your space has been used effectively to get your information in there. As usual, there's a couple examples here to take a look at. Okay. All right, and then your next one is going to be your water management plan. This is going to be where you're basically going to show how you're going to be, what changes you're going to implement in terms of water. You want to make sure that you're showing where the water flows onto your site, how or where it's diverted, where the overflow is going to go, any passive and active water harvesting, in addition to water taps, downspouts, hose spigots or hose bibs, existing irrigation lines. All of that's going to go into not existing, proposed irrigation lines. Okay. And then just follow through the template here, ways in which you'll work with waters, your water management strategy, all of these pieces. You can just fill in that, I think. Pretty straightforward. Okay, your next one's going to be your soil fertility. So this is going to include things like composting if you're doing vermicomposting or composting bins. If you're going to be planting cover crops, they can be included here as part of your soil fertility plan. Livestock management might be incorporated here. Okay, next one. This is basically two slides that are identical. There's a little bit of a design change here, but don't worry. Okay, so basically vegetation and elements details one of two. So choose a way that makes sense for you to divide this up. This might be, say here, like they've got a example is a rain garden. And then here you might choose to highlight like more overstory trees. And you can look at different ways that the examples have gone about this. Okay. So you can look at this as here what they did is they did primary management area details, and then they're looking at kind of a more expanded plan of that. So you can divide those out. You can add a slide, modify it as you see fit in order to tell your story about your site and what your plans are. Okay. Now the phasing plan and budget. Always an exciting part for students. Make sure that you go here and you click to access this the spreadsheet. It's going to take you into the template phasing plan. So you're going to replace, some of these you might keep actually, but or keep use for ideas. But essentially, you're just going to replace the entries here If you're not using any lines, then you can do something like this. And this is view only. Sorry, I missed a step. You're going to want to make a copy, and then any lines that you don't use, you can go ahead and delete those. And then it'll give you totals at the bottom. Give you a 5-year budget total. So this, you can see, starts with year 1, goes out to year 5. Okay. So then when you go back to your working copy, you're going to be looking to add your 5-year total here. You're going to have your year 1 numbers, and you want to include your 5-year total, just so you can show what that looks like. Note that your local currency, and then you can put any of the details here, and maybe that's assumptions that you've made, things you're going to have to research, any notes that are useful here, and kind of help me understand better what your plan is to move forward. Okay. And then finally, part of your concept plan is going to be your permaculture principles and social permaculture. You can expand this into 2 slides if you'd like to, because there are a lot of principles that you can use. I would rather see you pick, say, 3 and really detail into how you're going to implement those principles than do, say, like 8 or even like, say, a full suite of 12 principles and just sort of like do like a single note on each. So I'd rather see you like really develop more thoroughly in a few principles than trying to cover the whole gamut. And then your social permaculture, each of these is just a copy of the first one. So some social permaculture elements might be like how you're going to include local community, if you're going to have like a volunteering component, providing employment, or providing like a waste recycling service, something like that. How you might be planning to implement like fair share and return the surplus, improving local conditions, anything like that. That's helpful. Get some nice images in there. Insert your sources and information. And then you're on to your SWOT analysis, and that is your final assignment, folks. It's nice to have take some time to like really write your conclusion for this. This is the last one you're going to have to write. So it is nice to see kind of what you felt like came out of the course for you, or how you're feeling about going into the next steps. So really kind of, I like it when students like take a little bit of time with this one, especially because it is kind of your wrap up to the course. Okay, and if you've got any questions, as ever, you can drop them here. All right, and then your appendix. If you've been building this already, that's great. Often students are dropping resources or citations in here. If that's what you've been doing, then it's a good time to like clean it up. Just little things like make sure it's all in the same font, the same size, that your links are accurate. That everything's working. You can categorize them into different sections, categorize them by lesson, whatever works for you. But just make sure this is your chance to put in your final touches here. If you have not already done so, which pretty much everybody has, you do want to make sure you've got this information fixed up here, which again, you go to, I want to say, I have to remember. Okay. You go into your theme builder. And then, if you haven't already done that, okay. Yes, okay, so you go into the very first one, and you can change it here. And then just update your name, your personal name, your project name, city, region, country, so you don't have to have your address in here. And then this OSU PDC Pro, this is going to be the fall 2024 cohort. And then to go back out of there, you can just hit this little X on the upper right, and you are done. And then go ahead and submit. Okay, so we're going to finish there. All right. That's it. Okay, regarding submission, your final lesson is due by March 10th at 9 a.m. I know I've been doing this for 3.5 years now. I know that some of you are going to come in late, and I'm usually caught marking late besides, because here it is, well over a week late on getting your marking in. Please do your utmost to get your submissions in by that deadline so that I have time to give you appropriate feedback and you can make any changes if needed. If I don't have your assignment submitted, I can't mark it because I can't access it through SpeedGrader. So it's not that I can just look up your assignment and find it. So I need to get those submitted as quickly as you can. If you know you're going to be submitting late, and by late I mean like beyond, let's say beyond March 12th, like beyond the Wednesday, please send me an email to let me know ahead of time. I need to plan my grading time accordingly in order to meet my obligations to OSU and to be able to accurately grade your work. So my obligations include making sure that my full list of students that have completed the course, all of your grades, everything is accurate, to make sure that that's all submitted by the Tuesday following the close of the course. And that does take me a few days to get together for them. So I definitely need at least, I need as much time as possible. So as close as you can get it to submit it at March 10th at 9 a.m., the better. It's been a slice. It's been a joy having all of you in the course. I do hope you keep in touch. I love receiving emails from students. I do offer some I offer some consulting slots to students. They're always at, I basically keep my $50, which normally for kind of random Joe off the street clients, it's $150 for clients. So for students, I offer for $50 client, you usually get 60 minutes. We often run over to more like 90 minutes. And we can look either at the site that you worked on in the course, or we can look at a new site. Sometimes students have used that time to do like property assessment on something they were looking to buy. Anyway, so I will email details out about that coming in. And I look forward to seeing your final submissions coming in over the next week. Hopefully not 2 weeks, but yeah. So anyway, so I hope you all enjoy your week. It's Monday. It's a little late. It's 1:15 a.m. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for your patience again. I know there's been kind of a lot of hiccups throughout this cohort, and I've really appreciated your patience and getting to know all of you and getting to know your projects. So, all right. Take care.